Okay, great. So starting off last of 4 prep sessions, the summary, one summary you could take away from our set of goals is that we like to set an entrepreneurial environment. We want our team to understand that we're working on something that could have a big impact on the world, and that we're working with people that we can learn a lot from. And if we do 1 and 2 well, then 3 and 4 will follow. Okay, so that's big picture, and hope you guys can figure out how to help us develop products and deliver our workshops, teach our workshops, such that we meet these big picture goals. A quick review of our content. Our content is and our supporting platforms are really divided into 3 areas. We have 30 projects. We have about 100, well, wow, we have maybe 200 building blocks in our database of building blocks. I guess we only have about 30 in the new one, but we're in the process of converting some 200 building blocks we've developed over the years into our new Building Blocks platform. And we have content that's created by our members, their portfolio of work, which is on Invention Universe. Invention Universe is like LinkedIn for kids. It's maybe like Instagram, where you post your portfolio of work, or Behance if you're an artist. So it's a social media site for young builders. And when we do a 1-hour session, typically we'll start with a review. What's the goal? What's the mission? What are the tricks we've learned up to now over the past few weeks? And then we'll do a 5-minute presentation of a new lesson or challenge. And then the kids will build for 5 minutes. Then we'll repeat that process. And then finally at the end, we'll do a show and tell and a critique. And when we do a critique of our presentations, we like to think, was the presentation engaging? Did it move along quickly? It wasn't blah, blah, blah. And did the presentation address the problem and the mission? One way of thinking about making a critique. And generally we ask the kids, what did you like about this presentation? And what do you think could be better to help your teammates improve their work? These are qualities that you might, when you're critiquing, say, or offer or look for, or suggest that they improve on. So you all have this PowerPoint, you can obviously read it. The last thing I'm going to speak to is our measures of success. I remember at one of the Concord Academy training sessions, they made a very impressive point, at least it was an important takeaway for me, and that safety is our first concern. That is the kids' physical safety and the kids' mental safety. So when we use tools like glue guns, or when we use electric tools, which we'll be using this summer, physical safety comes first. And we also want to make sure that no kid feels bullied or is abused by anyone else, any of his teammates, his fellow builders. So safety comes first. Parents are trusting us to protect their kids. And Concord's Academy message, I don't know if this was mentioned in any of the training sessions, Melanie, you attended, or Emma? Did you hear this message? Safety comes first? Okay, good. And then the second measure of success is, did we meet expectations? And to me, that means that, have we engaged the kids? Have we engaged the kids as they expected to be engaged? And the way we measure that, we want to make a quantitative measure of success, not a subjective measure. It should be a 1 or a 0. It's not gray, black or white. And we have in the past set as a measure of successful engagement, if we can engage 8 in 10 kids, that's a spectacular goal to shoot for. And that means of the 10 kids that we have in class, did 8 of those kids, either are they repeat customers? If they've come back for a second workshop, that means they're engaged. Or did that kid do work outside of our workshop time? So if they go home and collect junk for their premium quality junk box, or if they work extra on their Scratch project or their Minecraft project, then we check them off as this kid is one of the 10 kids that did work outside of our workshop. Or if they buy Minecraft, or if they buy a tool, a glue gun, that means they're engaged. If they buy supplies, if you're studying music and you buy a guitar, that means you're serious about playing the guitar, right? So that's how we measure engagement. And we have in the past used this to trigger bonuses. I'm not sure, Emma, you and I need to talk about this. It's a lot of work to monitor this, but I think it's sufficient to keep in mind that when we make recommendations or when we consider our hourly rates, increasing our hourly rates, we will surely like to think when you're teaching, did we reach these engagement measures? Any questions about this? First of all, let me ask, do they make sense?
Yes, they do.
Great. May I ask, Simpson and Melanie and Emma, who are your favorite teachers, your favorite professors, and why? Why did that professor make an impression on you? What was it about their style of teaching that made you say, wow, I want to learn from this person? Emma, do you remember a teacher that was particularly impressive? I can tell you, yeah, go ahead, Emma.
I remember a teacher that's very impressive for me was my Chinese teacher in high school. Because he usually will, he don't just teach like by the textbooks. He usually will add the news, what's going on in the real life, and tell us from that point to build the connections with the concepts we learned from the textbooks.
Great.
That will make the class more interesting, something we actually will be paying more attention to.
Great. So I studied electrical engineering at Cornell. My favorite and most memorable course was a philosophy of religion course. And I loved that course because the professor, his lectures were like dramas. He would get on the stage, there were 300 of us in the lecture room, and he would pretend to be God, and he'd act out who God was. And he'd have sound effects in the background. There would be lightning and thunder, and the lights would blink off and on. And then he'd speak in a voice like he was God. So his lectures were just like going to the movies. Cynthia, how about you? Do you have a favorite teacher, and why did that teacher impress you?
Well, I can think of two teachers. One of them was my psychology teacher, and I think I liked the class a lot because the teacher was really flexible and open to feedback, and she always like asked us whether we were interested in what the lesson was or if we wanted anything to change.
Great.
So I think that was really helpful. And then another teacher I really liked had a lot of discussions during the class. I think that was really fun.
Asked interesting questions. And the discussions, he asked interesting, or she asked interesting questions, so they led to good discussions.
Yeah, and we had just like periods of time where she would ask us to like discuss certain things, or yeah, I just thought it was good to like engage with my other classmates.
Great. Great, excellent. Melanie, how about you?
I think one of my favorite teachers was maybe a high school teacher that I had. He used to teach us about construction, building, and how to use AutoCAD. She was very patient, and she used to encourage me to do better. I remember her. She was a great professor. She was very understanding of our skills, and that we were just starting to get the hang of the software.
Great. This was a construction course. What did you build? What did you build in the high school course?
Well, we were basically copying blueprints and floor plans. We were making 3D models of constructions, like houses and stuff like that. So yeah, that was basically it. Learning how to, like, what different blueprints are required for when you actually want to build something.
Great. Okay. Discussions triggered. Okay, these are all I think valuable attributes of a good teacher. Okay, so I'm going to put this in our notes and add it to this PowerPoint as a reference for future members. All right. I think what we'll do is, since Chubi isn't here, we'll send you his PowerPoint and ask for your critique. We have a couple of PowerPoints for this new project. Would love to get your suggestions on which PowerPoint you like the best and why, as a way of introducing a project that engages kids, that makes kids say, wow, in the first 5 minutes, I want to build this project because the storyline is so interesting. The problem mission storyline is so interesting. Okay. Emma, unless you have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to add a little thing about our presentation quality, that page, that slides.
Yeah.
Just want you guys know, I know all the things showed in the PowerPoint is all the positive things. We tell kids, we encourage them, how great job they did. But in the real class, we also, some of the kids or parents, they're also expecting to hear your suggestions, how their project could be improved.
Great suggestion. We want to leave next steps for kids. So that's a great suggestion, Emma. We should put a big string around our finger to remind us at the end of the week, leave 10 minutes to ask the kids, what would you like to do next?
Yeah.
And if you'd like to do that, we invite you to join our online webcast. Yeah, let's make a note of that. Emma, very important point. Thank you.
Okay.
Good. Okay, yeah. We all have to think of ourselves not only as coaches, teachers, project leaders, but also as salespeople. We want to bring the kids that we want to work with for many years.
Yeah.
We want to bring them into our circle.
Yes.
All right, let's end it on that. Thank you for joining, and you'll hear from Emma and I periodically via email with suggestions for next steps.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Thanks for joining, Sinsen, Melanie. Thanks for your good suggestions over the week. And talk soon.
Talk soon, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a
Bye,
good
you're
weekend.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye, Melanie.
All right. Let me
John,
stop
could you-
recording. Hold on a sec.
Mhm.